The protests in Brazil, they are causing havoc on the streets and also on the stock markets as well. Brazil's main stock market, the Bovespa index, dropped another 2.5% Friday. It is now at the lowest level in nearly 4 years. We do have across-the-board coverage for you right now. In a moment, we'll speak to Mary Cruz Megawan, Vice President of the National Economists Club here in Washington, on the economic impact. But first, CCTV's Paulo Cabral joins us with the data that's worrying authorities and investors there. Paulo?
Yes, Phil, even though the Brazilian economy is still growing, albeit slowly, there is much concern with some fundamental figures of the economy. Actually, Brazil is being hit right now, just like everybody else, by the slow world economy. So the current account takes the hit.
The last decade was great for Brazilian exports. The country surfed on waves of high commodity prices, selling raw materials like soybeans and iron ore. But now commodity prices are low and the world economy remains in crisis. The country's exports revenues are falling sharply. This foreign trade office started operating in 2003 as Brazil began its exports boom. But the owner says business is slowed down a lot now.
Our company usually to grow like 30–40% per year since the beginning, and now it's growing just 10–15%.
In May, the deficit reached $6.4 billion, lower than the $8.3 billion of April, but remains a problem. In 12 months, the current account deficit has accumulated to $73 billion, more than 3% the GDP. The drop in exports turned Brazil's decade-long trade surplus into a deficit. And according to economists, this is cause for serious concern because it widens the gap in the country's current account.
Well, in current account is a major concern that we are facing right now, because we had been accumulated in the current account deficits in last years. Such deficits had been mitigated, in one hand, by a surplus in the balance of trade, and secondly, they have been mitigated by the flow of foreign direct investments. Since we are going to have a decrease in the balance of trade, even to very minimum terms, and as well, there are doubts if the flow of foreign direct investment due to the internal situation of Brazil would keep at the level of 60–70 billions that are very necessary.
There is hope that the ongoing devaluation of the Brazilian real will help boost the country's exports and possibly help to reduce the country's current account deficit.
And actually, there is also hope that the signs of recovery in the United States will help, but that in the long run, because it's a double-edged sword. In the short term, there is actually a problem because money that was here in Brazil, investors' money that was here in Brazil, now with the signs of recovery in the United States, are starting to flow back into the United States. So another element that's helping to deteriorate this country's current account.
Paulo, thank you very much.